Okay, here we are Sunday after the primary and caucus. No real surprises, but Hillary did a good job holding on and won by what, about 5 percentage points in the caucus. And she's running away with all the super delegates on top of whatever delegates she gets. So she looks like she's going to definitely be the winner at the Democratic convention, though who knows what can happen over the next couple of weeks with the SEC/ACC primaries coming up March through the 15th. The Republican side, Donald Trump did okay. He just sticks with what he's got. The big surprise was Bush quitting. With all that money, I thought he just wouldn't do it, but I got to give him credit. Jeb Bush has tried his best. He's just not the man. He even got contacts last Friday, I think, so he wouldn't wear glasses any longer. It just didn't work. But I think the guy would be really good on as like Secretary of State or something. We'll see if we have a Republican administration. Marco Rubio took out Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz just comes off as just not. I'm not going to say not clean, but his campaign's always doing things. If it's sending out envelopes saying that there's a problem with voting and because people aren't voting enough, if he's sending out stuff saying that Ben Carson's quitting, if he's all this stuff he's doing, the picture of Photoshop picture of the president and Marco Rubio. I mean, there's just something about him, and it just doesn't look like he's going to pick up much more steam. He's got the group he's got. Trump's got the group he's got, and the question would be how much can Rubio pick up? It looks like it's going to go all the way to the convention. I still think Trump's going to have a problem here from March 1st to March 15th, but we'll find out. That's what makes it so much fun, and that's what's going to tell us really where everything's going at that point. And is it going to be a 64 or 68 election? Or maybe a 64 or 68 election. Since we're going to call this this and that, a couple other things. We find out today that the president's administration reached out to North Korea to try to make a deal just before they shot their purported satellite or attempted purported satellite up. What are we doing with the young un? Isn't it obvious to the president? I mean, his foreign policy is such a failure. Isn't it obvious? It's going to go nowhere. If irrational people don't deal with rationality, throw rationality out the door. It's just not rational. All that man understands is strength. We finally got some sanctions that Congress passed, that the president signed. Got to turn the heat up on the Chinese. Chinese are running around. They have no problem putting up missile batteries in international waters when they're building islands, but they sure don't mind their client state, North Korea, doing what it's doing and shooting what could be really precursors to missiles in the air. Of course, we're going to help South Korea. I give the president credit for that, sending the new THAAD missile defense system over to South Korea. They deserve it. They need it. They're good friends, and you can't trust North Korea. That's all he's going to understand. And you got to turn sanctions up on the Chinese. They don't care what you do. They're going to keep doing their thing and make promises and just kind of walk away. So you've got that problem going also. It's Syria. Secretary of State Kerry says peace is on the horizon. Peace has been on the horizon for how long? This is our fault. And then he turns around and goes, well, if the warring parties, and he's talking about those who are fighting against Assad, if they don't back off, I mean, when we announce peace, then it's their problem. No, it isn't. It's our problem. We made this problem, Secretary Kerry. Your administration, the president's administration, and you carried it out. Syrian refugees are running everywhere. They're just leaving. They have to. You just have killing after killing. I said, look at those pictures of what it looks like in Syria, just destroyed by all these client states. You got Iran, you got Hezbollah, you got the Russians saying, yeah, we're going to have peace. They just keep on bombing them. Nah, it's just not happening. It's getting tougher and tougher out there, and this next president's going to have to deal with a mighty, mighty, nasty foreign policy debacle all across the world left by President Obama, unfortunately. At the same time, Weezer has a new album coming out. I think about 4 of their songs have come out so far. It's pretty good. But you can't tell till the whole album comes out. So get their last album. Everything will be all right. It's great. It came out about a year and a half ago. It was their comeback album. It's just beautiful. It has a trilogy at the end with 3 great songs, and it just cooks from the beginning all the way to the end. Get Everything Will Be All Right, and let's get ready for Weezer's new album coming out. I believe it's May. Either way, it's leaving everything on an up note. Things are okay. Rock and roll.